Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest session or episode, if you will, of Unforgotten. So effectively, last session was a travel episode, as our intrepid adventurers went across the eastern part of Osterland, up to the outskirts of Harmonywings Ranch. They made a couple pit stops, did some interrogations, unsuccessfully tried to gamble their fortunes away, and a few other little miscellaneous activities here and there. We find ourselves at the edges of Harmonywings Ranch. The sun is setting. This beautiful golden glow has kind of blanketed fields of Osterland off in the distance. You can see plumes of smoke coming out of what looks like a decently sized settlement. Up above, you can see what look like griffins are flying with riders. A couple of drakes are soaring, going down the distance. As you kind of continue to walk and travel closer to Harmonywings Ranch, you see that this ranch kind of spreads across a fortified plateau of timber. There's iron braces. There's a lot of training rings, roost towers that climb at uneven heights. Some look like they're built for taloned griffins. Others are reinforced with like a chain hung harness that kind of are rigged into place for what look like drakes. There are watch rails that line the outer edges of kind of where the ground falls away into this kind of like heat shimmer of and ash. Looks like every path is wide enough for a creature to turn, to launch, or to be led with some sort of restraint. Nothing here really feels ornamental. There are stable hands that move with the calm of soldiers around animals that are strong enough to carry these people or decimate them or do all sorts of things. Looks like there's kind of like almost like this battlefield formation that's kind of set around this area, and these beasts look to be particularly well trained. There's griffins that snap their beaks and kind of spread their wings over fresh feed. You notice that the drakes are coiling around some warmed rocks just as the sun is setting, and that heat will begin to go away. As you get closer, you notice that the clouds start to come in. The sky darkens, and a gentle rain starts to permeate the plains of Osterland. What would you guys like to do?
Make sure no one notices me.
Okay, and how would you like to do it?
I'm in disguise. I just hope and pray.
You just hoping nobody notices you? Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing plan.
You maybe kind of like checking your appearance a little bit, making sure everything's like good.
Yeah. Well, in all seriousness, what I probably would do is I would look to Clade, and I would probably just ask, you know what to say, right? In order to, you can just get a free pass, correct?
You should be able to. She'll nod. I should be able to. We'll see how the wind blows. Are we at the doors, or are we in the doors?
You're kind of on the outskirts, so you can kind of see. I mean, with another 10 minutes of travel or so, you would kind of come up on the settlement. I'm assuming you guys are still kind of walking towards Harmonywings.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, after about 10 minutes or so, you arrive at the settlement, and, there's a lot of houses kind of around, actually. You would surprisingly think that this would just be like mostly a training ground, but this actually appears to be somewhat of like a lived-in city. Of course, it looks very functional in the sense that a lot of these people are here as like jobs and not as a place that they would normally choose to live here, so to speak. And then you're also kind of getting this like these kind of bits and bobs of what this kind of steampunk aesthetic that is really prevalent in Vaporvale, the capital city in Osterland, is starting to kind of permeate parts of Harmonywings. It's like some brass and other metals, some kind of blue, golden, colors as part of mixed in with the architecture. And as you walk up, we will switch scenes here. Outside of the gates of Harmonywings Ranch, you see flanking the gate are two venerators. And yes, Callum, would you like to say something?
Yes, I didn't know if we could see like the griffins or the wyverns yet.
Yeah, you would have been seeing them as you were kind of moving up, flying around. Of course, it's gotten darker. The sun has gone from this beautiful golden sunset to like, as the clouds have rolled in, this overcast, the rain has started to come down. These beasts have kind of retreated back into their training ground and are seeking shelter, particularly the drakes, who obviously like the warmer environment. And you can kind of see over the gate some like glows of what look like lights coming from hatcheries or like warming stations for these drakes specifically.
Okay. And the only reason I'm asking if I could see them is because I would like to, draw them as well as like the Asterians. They're like their tamers, the trainers, whatever they are. I'd like to just draw them in my book as we're approaching, like kind of just sketch them in, like as detailed as I can since we are kind of in a hurry. But again, one of my main priorities as Calum is to document everything.
Okay. Perfect. So you guys are literally outside the gates of Harmonywings. You guys have control of your tokens. You should be able to see, have some visibility on the outside of the gates, be able to see the venerators. Do let me know if that's not the case in Foundry.
Looks fantastic.
No, we can see.
Cool.
This is amazing.
So you guys are welcome to kind of figure out what you want to do in terms of your approach.
I guess my first question is, are there windows, like glass windows?
This is definitely more of like a fortification, like wall. There are kind of some towers and stuff. You can actually see some griffins on the top of them guarding the ranch, but there doesn't really appear outside of like some kind of lamp posts and other like lighting materials. There doesn't seem to be like any way to like look inside, so to speak.
Gotcha.
This is very much kind of like part like commercial, part military installation. So it's very, very much like form, function over form.
Like it's gonna turn to the group before we go in. Don't worry too much about the details. Just act like you're supposed to be in there, and I think we'll be okay. Specifically to to Perrin and Caleb and Severick.
Specific.
Specifically.
I think it was quicker to list who it wasn't towards.
How many of you have flown before? And he'll look toward Caleb in a way that makes it obvious that he's not really asking Caleb.
Clade will nod.
I have not left the ground.
Kind of look at Perrin for an answer.
I'm kind of looking at the giant fortification and looking at the venerators, and then I'll kind of shake my head and I'll look towards you and I'll go, I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you ever flown before?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Have you all ridden before? A horse?
He never really gave us the luxury of being able to do that, I guess.
He'll look at Severick kind of like, I assume that you've ridden before. It's kind of just like a look like it should be pretty obvious. You would imagine that you've ridden a horse before.
He'll kind of just shrug and shake his head.
Oh boy. Well, you may be getting a crash course then. We're having to pair up with some of us. The number one thing is that griffins are good at carrying weight, not cowardice. You have to control your breathing and your fear while you're riding one if you don't want to agitate it.
I see. Okay. Just don't be afraid. Sure, easy enough.
Just think of them like a really big horse that could disembowel you.
You could have just left it at really big horse and I probably would have gone along with it.
You would see a couple of people start to like move out and start to go back, kind of move to the right here, start to move away. Looks like they're kind of getting off of their shifts, leaving the ranch. And then you can kind of hear some commotion. Nothing like concerning, just people talking, chattering, as they're kind of like walking down the streets over here. And it looks like they're kind of leaving for their shifts for the day and kind of retiring back to their places of residence.
Versailles will start walking toward the entrance.
You can use WSAD or WASD to move your tokens too. Used to be the arrow keys, but it got shifted in Foundry, so just a heads up there. So you arrive at the gates. How can I help you? State your purpose.
Clade will show her Inquisitor coin.
You kind of
We are
see
here
these-
for... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you can kind of see the as you brandish the coin, these kind of venerators just turn very kind of stiffly because they're some pretty significant plate armor. Just kind of stiffly like turn to each other and look like, oh, okay, that's an Inquisitor coin. And then you would like to say something?
We're here for transportation.
Kind of give each other another look, and they are with you?
Yes.
Their assets.
We'll kind of look you over Versailles, the one on the right here, and nod, and very like just kind of firmly gesture you in to be able to walk into Harmonywings.
Versailles will give the customary, almost imperceptible head bow of respect and walk on in.
Clade will never mind the guards, but you said that there was griffins like perched over here, kind of.
They're like here. They're on the corners. So there's like one way back here, and then another back here. So they're kind of towards the back of the building, not the front.
Okay. She'll kind of warily look up at the griffins as she's walking in. You'll notice that she seems kind of tense, a little stiff.
Okay. As you walk in, obviously there's kind of a larger building. This looks like a place that you could, rest for the night. Wait till the morning before kind of traveling on your next trek. Obviously with the weather being what it is, it's not necessarily the most ideal conditions for travel. Kind of based on your cursory knowledge. And you can also see some up further towards the mountains. I mean, you guys are fairly close to the mountains, but just a little further north in the distance, you can see a few like lightning strikes as well.
I'm assuming we would know where to go to talk about grabbing griffins or drakes or...
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly move in, explore a little bit of Harmonywings, kind of take stock of what's around.
I have some GM-focused questions, like how long did the trip take us from the point that we set it out to, like, arriving here?
That was about a full day's travel.
So we're probably a little tuckered out on our feet all day.
Yeah.
There are like lodgings and stuff like that for incoming and outgoing travelers, are there not?
So here would be this kind of larger building that you walk in and kind of see immediately. Would certainly be like a place where they have lodging.
It may not be a bad idea to familiarize our compatriots with Asterian griffins and to get some rest before we try to head out. I feel like it would be a bad idea for one of them to fall asleep on Griffin back. This mostly to like Clade, since we're the two, Asterians in the situation.
I think you're right. Have you been here before?
Several times.
probably know it better than I do.
Griffins are, well, an important part of Asterian life. Have you ever been to a griffin funeral before?
I haven't. We're mostly taught just to ride.
Kind of looks around. You can't really see underneath his helmet, but if you could, it'd be a little bit wistful. It's been a long time since he has been here, but he was here much more often when he was younger. Lodgings first, then. And is this huge building in the front the sort of place where we can find lodging, or is it another building here on the premises?
Yeah, so the big one is like kind of would be like the Grand Lodge. Some of these, obviously, certainly encourage you to kind of move around with your token, get some vision, kind of explore stuff, take a look. But like up in the back is like a griffin kind of stable. There's different rings. There's like a place that stores griffin eggs here. There's various kind of other buildings. Some are used for kind of distributing the different foods. So you can see like long pipes running and kind of going to these different pens, and it's all very efficient. You can kind of see like puffs of smoke coming out of these buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, Versailles is going to be focused on securing lodgings, putting away some of their traveling packs and all this sort of extra heavy weight that they have so that they can be more unencumbered to take a tour around the entire place. So he's just going to push, through the front door, clomping in his Venerator armor.
Yeah, so you'd walk into what looks like, a beautiful lodge. Very much with this, like, kind of, it's kind of like you've got all the woods and, like, the appearance of, like, a grand lodge mixed in with, like, the pipes and metals and coloring of, like, kind of like a steampunk aesthetic. And so everything is very kind of like refined and flashy. Looks like there was like some money that's been put into this. It is about 3 stories tall. So you walk in, you can kind of see different trophies spread out throughout the lodge. Obviously not drakes or griffins, but what looks like upon closer inspection, some trophies from some hunters. Some are marked with what looks like clearly the name of a griffin. So it was like prey that was captured, and they took it and did some taxidermy on it and mounted it to the wall. And then one particular just like eye-popping kind of view that you get is you can actually see the head of a dragon as well. Kind of almost like dangling from the ceiling like a chandelier. And it looks like some lights and various kind of like accents have been like stitched into like the teeth and the eyes, and so it almost has this kind of like fiery glow, like it would be alive. You kind of walk in, and it kind of gives this like interesting kind of reddish orange hue that just almost blends into the wood, and the different bounces off the different metals and various things here.
Versailles makes like a little holy gesture of respect to the dragon's head, and then goes to is there like kind of a front counter where
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like staff members and so forth?
Yes, there's certainly obviously there's like a bar area that seems to be a little more secluded. You kind of walk up a set of stairs, very kind of like small set of stairs, not like up a floor, but just kind of like up a landing essentially. You step up a few steps and you're there. You do see what looks like some people who actually work the ranch, winding down for the day. A couple people do notice you.
Are the accommodations more of the sort where it's more like large group rooms, or is it quite easy to get individual rooms?
You could do either. This place is big enough that it supports kind of a variation of setups. So you could get like a suite with like a couple of rooms in there. You could also get kind of like singles, places with multiple beds. There's certainly some options there.
I assume that like a group room would be cheaper than getting 5 individual rooms.
Yeah, certainly more cost effective. One particular person looks like an older gentleman. You can see, you kind of see him like walking over to the window. He has a very pronounced limp. It looks like one of his legs are braced with like a reinforced leather. And he actually has flight gear on. And it looks like it's maintained really well. It's polished. He takes a lot of pride in this equipment. He's somebody who obviously, probably mid-60s, very weathered looking in the face, deep lines, gray hair, very prominent beard and mustache. You just see him like looking out the window.
He'll so is he this like the person who would help me, or is he
Not
just
necessarily.
he's a
It
hunter,
just kind of
right?
kind of just looks like this is somebody that's existing. If
Yeah.
as you look around,
Someone for Caleb to bother.
yeah, certainly somebody that would have a story or two. As you kind of look around and scan the area, it looks like a little bit further back, you see like a broader, almost like a gentler looking man. Looks like he's wrapped in padded garments. They're layered with kind of like feather-lined panels. His arms have like faint scratches. And you can kind of get the sense as you like, I'm assuming you would approach, given that you're looking for a gentleman like this. You get a kind of a sense of like faintly oils and dried herbs. Can I help you?
Hopefully.
What can I do for you? What brings you to Harmonywings Ranch?
Business. Official business.
I am Morrowind. What is your name?
Versailles.
Welcome, Versailles, and your friends? Or, sorry if that was too presumptuous, but I just thought I would, traveling together and all that.
He'll kind of like step aside to let them speak.
Hello, I'm Peter.
Nice to meet you, Peter.
And you are?
Morrowind.
Morrowind.
Yeah.
kind of look at everyone else, introduce themselves.
Go ahead, Callum.
Blade.
Or Clade. Yeah. Nice
Pleasure
to meet you.
you.
Nice to meet you, Clade.
I think Caleb, out of character. I don't think he would be able to hear anybody right now. This is a lot to draw. So I guess with me, I would just give like a decent like little head nod, and then just scratch.
And nice to meet a fellow artist.
Excuse
You
me.
could call him busy.
I mean, quite. What are the drawings of? Can I take a look?
He'll immediately, he hears that for sure, slams his book closed. None can look at my book.
Oh,
Forgive me for the sudden hostility, but I'm afraid that until this book is completely finished, I can let no one look at it.
we'll kind of like lean in a little bit, not looking at the book, but just very curious about your predicament. What are you doing with the book?
I'm a historian, if you must know. I make sure to write down every bit of history as I experience it.
Is there any type of information you're looking for?
Actually, now that you mention it, I would love to learn how the Asterians managed to, what the history is with griffins, wyverns, and particularly the dragon. Is that based on a real dragon? What was his name?
You'll kind of see like you see his kind of eyes perk up with about the griffin, kind of inquiry, and then you say dragon, and it's like he almost goes dark for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't. That's for the owner of the establishment. That's his story to tell.
Well, I would like to hear it from someone who's quite knowledgeable on the subject, and you yourself seem to be, forgive me for if I'm assuming, but you seem to be very well versed in the history of your people. Is there any way I might get a snippet from you?
Are you trying to make a
Yeah.
roll for that? I saw. Okay, so you're like I'm firing up my experience. Go ahead and make a presence roll.
With hope.
I'm afraid it's not my story to tell.
I understand.
But maybe some point the owner will come by. He'll be able to speak of it. But for now, yeah. And he's kind of just look up at the dragon. It's almost like this kind of more, as he looks up, and then I think kind of the eyes of the party would follow just a little bit. You would just see what looks like kind of this like little puff of smoke come out from the dragon head.
Scribble. Well, thank you for your time.
But
then.
griffins,
okay.
Are you looking to rent some griffins, purchase them? We do lessons as well. We also sell gear or any other stuff. If you might be interested, I could show you.
I would love to see some gear. I do believe that our Asterian acquaintances do have some business with the griffins or the wyverns. But me personally, I would just like to see your equipment. I can fly myself, you see. I have no need for a winged
Use
beast.
some protective. You're like your kind of wings are like visible.
Yeah.
Well, we do sell some things for flight that might be able to improve your circumstances. What are you?
Sir, I am a nocturne from Chronomire. The renowned historians of the Great Library.
Do you mean the Time City?
Unfortunately, I was born with none of their heretical magic, but I do like to document and to add to the Great Library itself.
Well, sounds great and all. And then all kind of out of character. Was there something that you wanted to cover, Clade? It's kind of the conversation shifts back to you in the spotlight.
I believe we're here for lodging and hopefully to rent some griffins. Or drakes.
Very well. We could certainly do lodging. What are you looking for?
Out of character. Probably good for same room, separate rooms. What are we thinking?
I do want to let everybody know, in case nobody was here when Clear said it, but he did give us extra gold on our character inventories. So we do have quite a bit more gold than we did at the end of last session. Just because he said that he had not had a chance to, we didn't really go over how much gold our characters started with. So, bam.
Thank you for reminding.
Yes. All right.
So we have options.
I would prefer a group room to keep an eye on people, but if Clade wanted to have her own room, that wouldn't, that would make some sense.
Okay. How much are your separate and group rooms?
Well, it depends on what you want. If you want a group room like a suite, probably looks like that it could fit your entire party. That would be 5 coin. We do have breakfast included and some other things. If you pay a little bit more for the suite, we do have some lessons in there as well, though that puts the price up considerably.
Do you have hot running water in this establishment?
We do, yes. It's actually filtered from some of the volcanoes and kind of runs down and cools, and then, yes, it's very, very hot. Actually, some of the most maintained sources of water in all of Usterland.
Asking out of character, is it more of a just like individual bath situations, or do they have like a big old like hot springy kind of bath or something?
They do have like a hot spring. Yeah.
Cool.
So there's actually you would know this, Versailles, but like actually built under Harmonywings, there's like caverns and various things where
geothermal.
Geothermal. They do sometimes they go in there and like hunt and do other things, and so there's springs there as well that are accessible through stairs, and there's actually an elevator as well.
Versailles will reach into his little, traveling coin purse and take out 5 and lay them onto the counter to pay for that. If anyone wants to pay for their own additional solo room, they can feel free to do so. And I'll take that out of my inventory.
Perfect. Would you guys like to see the store here?
Yes.
Ooh.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Sorry, just jump back real quick. I also would pay. It was
Oh.
how much? 5 gold?
Currency
For a
exchange?
group room, I don't think
For a
we
group
got
room?
the individual room price.
Oh, it did a currency
Well, we
exchange.
got the group room price.
Like I said, you can totally pay for a solo room if you
Oh.
like.
I put all my handfuls in. Okay. It just converted
Oh,
my
boy.
handfuls into coins. Okay.
Are you guys able to see all of this?
Writing lessons.
yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Ooh.
Actually, can you
Just
do
as a
one
note,
more time?
Clade will say, "Could I pay for a solo room? How much is that?"
It would be a gold piece.
And she'll put that down.
I would also mark off, or I would also put down a gold piece.
Could you show
Are
this?
Perrin and Caleb going to get their own rooms? Or are we
Are we all doing solo?
I don't mind. I kind of trust you at least. Perrin, I did save on the very first day, and so I kind of feel like he owes me one, and so I'm not really worried about him either. Wait, could I have this store?
Go to
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah, I don't even know if Perrin has any money whatsoever. So
I'm gonna keep my financial situation close to the chest, if you don't mind.
That's silly.
I'll put a gold piece down. Just
Okay.
Or
are you getting your own room?
yeah, I'll get my own room.
Then how about we just have my 5 gold be for everybody then, to have their own single room,
Sure.
and you guys
Works.
can save the gold.
All right.
I already took it out.
Is there anything in the store that you guys are eyeing in particular?
My store closed out. Could you send it back to me?
How do we see the store again?
There we go.
Okay, well, then.
The food is an obvious one, but I'm hoping
The
that
mount.
we can.
The mount feed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna buy the mount feed.
I'm not gonna buy
yourself?
anything until we know what is going on.
Yeah. Are we able to come back here and go to the store when or after, like just later in general?
Yes.
I guess. Okay. For my compatriots, could you describe which griffin, drake, such forth would be best for long distances, or what their flight patterns are like? She'll say to the guy helping us out.
I mean, all of our griffins can fly quite long distances. It's just a matter of what type of things you equip them with, or whether you have enough feed to get them that distance. They can get quite hungry. Of course, there's other factors at play, weather. That could be a bit difficult to navigate. Did you have any particular plans about where you were going? Might be able to assist.
She'll kind of glance over to Versailles, as in like should we divulge some information to this guy?
He just kind of gives a very slight head tilt inside of his suit of armor, and then almost deadpan looks over at Merwin, and it's best not to say.
I see. Is it a sensitive mission of some sort?
Yes.
Ah,
We will be traveling far.
Okay, well, I mean, depending on where you're going, if you're, I mean, Geez, it's really depends. I mean, if you're going from here to like Azura Keep, that's probably about 12 days of travel. If you're going to like Dusthaven or Chronomire or Krazu, that could be anywhere from 8 to 11 days. Just depends. Though I wouldn't recommend going to their place, but they being Krazu, very unpleasant folks.
So I've heard.
Oh, have you?
Just
Have you traveled there?
no. Gods no. Sounds like a
Let's
horror.
leave the.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Fuck.
Here we go.
God damn it.
You'll just kind of disregard the way that you framed it. Doesn't see anything extra with that.
Versailles will hold a gauntleted hand out for a key for his room.
He will provide the keys.
And I'll distribute them to everybody, and then kind of with an air of leaving everyone here to dig their own hole, he's going to just walk off to go to his room. He has been hiking all day long in relatively heavy armor, which he's trained to do, but he is nonetheless tired and slightly aggravated. And he wants to drop off as much of his stuff as he can and get cleaned up before proceeding with touring around the place and explaining to all of these newcomers how not to get disemboweled by a griffin.
What about the other folks? What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna head straight up to my room and just sit on the bed, curl up into a ball probably, and self-reflect, pun not intended.
Really deep.
I think Caleb, instead of going straight to his room, does it look like there's any? I'm not trying to go in there, but does it look like there are any restricted areas of this place? Or
Not
is it
particularly.
okay? So
Yeah,
it's
this is a
I can
pretty
free roam.
well-traveled place. Now,
Okay.
certainly, if you went outside and you looked around, you could probably find some areas that would.
Oh no! I'm not looking for like super restrict. No. What I wanted to do was I kind of wanted to trace, like just walk around and just continue my sketch. I wanted to get like a full sketch diagram of the entire place. I want to completely put this place in my book.
This particular building, are you going to walk outside of it, kind of look around? Is that what you're thinking?
The inside of the building.
The inside. Okay.
Yep. The inner decorations, the structure design, all of that. I want to attempt to draw all of it.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a knowledge roll.
Oh, great. I wonder. Okay. Yeah, I'll just. Oh my.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to, with pretty good accuracy, sketch this out. Severick, what are you doing at this moment?
Probably getting ready to head to the room.
Are you going to take the elevator? Are you going to go up the stairs?
Probably take the long way. Probably take the stairs.
Okay,
Explore
so
a little bit.
as you're kind of like, Callum is sitting there kind of drawing, kind of sketching out the text, you would be able to kind of try to catch like a brief glance over shoulder at what he's doing. As you're walking towards the stairs, you see like a gentleman kind of walk down, and you manage to bump into them. And this is a pretty firm like bump. Clearly somebody that doesn't really care too much about people's personal space.
Oh.
And what you notice is that with the bump, you notice that some of the clothing shifts, and just very faintly, you can you get a look at what might be like a glow coming from the chest of this individual before the clothing covers it back up.
What color of a glow? Like a faint kind of just like candle glow, blue glow, red glow, all colors of the rainbow glow.
Yeah, it's rainbow color. No.
Strobe light.
This would be, give me 1 second. Where is it? I have a fun image for this.
Oh, sick.
I'm not going to share this particular image, but this would actually be like I would say red and orange, but leaning a little more into orange. Just like there's a little bit of like a flame. And it looked like the light bounced a little bit. I need you to give me a knowledge roll.
Just a general knowledge roll, or do you think
just
one of my experiences?
Let's see here.
Because depending on the context of
I don't necessarily think any of these experiences would apply.
Okay.
Yep.
Big roll. Oh, I like it.
18. So you bump into this person, you get a brief glance. Upon further reflection, you see as the kind of the clothing, because it's like, it's just kind of buttoned a little bit. It's like a little bit of like a coat, and so as you kind of like bump in, you just get this brief flash, and it looks like there's actually metal embedded in this person's chest with like a little bit of a glow going around it. As you recall and you're thinking about things, you realize as you bump and walk past this person that you were looking for some gentleman that was meeting this description. Not one, but many.
Okay.
I will send you a message here on the side.
Ooh, secrets.
So you were trying to be nosy on my book, and you found some good secrets, huh?
I just sent that over to you.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Now, when I bumped into this individual, I was personally distracted. Was this person, did it seem, I mean, you said it was a very forceful, or not really like forceful, but like there was more weight into this bump than like just a casual oops bump sort of thing?
Yeah, more weight. I mean, they weren't necessarily targeting you, but they didn't care that you were in their way, effectively.
Gotcha.
It's very much a disregard for like anybody or anything. Just kind of bump.
I'll kind of just over exaggerate the bump a little bit and kind of do like a half spin. Hey, there's a whole hallway. You had to walk right over here.
Mind your own fucking business. And I'll keep walking.
Okay. When he does that, I get like a full kind of just. Does he say that over his shoulder, or does he turn and face me when he says that?
Oh, he turns and faces you.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of just make a mental note of this guy's features, and the such. As he keeps walking, I'm going to I'm gonna go find Clade like ASAP.
Would you like to say something,
Oh.
Karen? Real quick before we switch over to Clayton.
Oh yeah. I would like to whenever able. I'd like to take back my my thing, and I would say I'd like to go see the griffins like from out here, like from the outside of the what seems to be like the pen, or like the whenever I'm able to.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that right now if you'd like.
Well, yeah, but we're switching to someone else, so just like whenever
We can switch the spotlight back to them in a few minutes. Go ahead and kind of move outside if you'd like and go take a look. There's a wall there, so
Oh.
you're gonna have to. I did put walls here, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I could just phase through. No, okay. I'll just take a look, and I want to see like the animals, just kind of like from the safety on the from the safety of like outside of the fence or whatever the hell is keeping them contained here.
You would see, obviously they're kind of chained up here, a bit. The one kind of closest to you kind of like turns and like looks at you like it's sizing you up. And then you notice it kind of almost like chirps, kind of sits up and flaps its wings a little bit. And then kind of like moves over towards this kind of fence and kind of pokes its head. It's kind of like it's like a ring that kind of goes around this. And there's kind of like two sections. There's kind of like a higher end like bar, so it's not easy for them to kind of like walk through. Obviously if they're not chained down, they can kind of just fly up and get out of here, but there's enough room in between these kind of like two pieces for it to kind of stick its head through, and that's what it's doing, almost like it's looking for pets.
I'll see if I can I do a quick instinct roll to see like it's not baiting me to like get a quick bite.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm gonna use I would like to use why not? I like to use an experience for borrowed knowledge. Just see if I can like quickly tap into the mirror plane for little stray thoughts about knowledge about griffins.
Okay. Go ahead. $19. So as you kind of like look and size up the griffin, and you're thinking back to your experience, and you're kind of almost like tapping into the mirror plane for this brief instance, you can kind of feel yourself floating away, your consciousness kind of going into this plane as you focus, pull that information in. And what you get back is a life, a different life, one that you were not. And draws you a look, a borrowed experience from an experience that is not yours. A life lived, it's not yours, but no less valid. One where maybe you were a Styrian, training griffins, learning about them. And you see this griffin is just putting his head down asking for pets.
I'll give it what it wants. I'll just taking in that life and those emotions. I'll just go. Hey there, guy. Yeah.
Kind of chirps.
Oh, look at you. You look strong. You look mighty. You're just a big softie, though, aren't you?
A couple more chirps. You kind of see it like kind of twisting a little bit. Obviously, it's kind of still constrained by the chains, but you kind of see it like twisting, almost like a cat would turn on its belly.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of see it like trying to do that, getting like, pets under the, kind of the beak and on the neck.
You're a beautiful critter. Brady, I won't hold you up. And I'll, whenever the griffin is ready to just just kind of like move on with its day, I'll quit giving it pets and just kind of observe, keep on observing.
So this kind of one, this he kind of unsticks his head out of this thing, kind of sits up and starts, still chirping at you. Funnily enough, the one behind it is just dead staring at you, just not amused by this in the slightest. Clearly didn't have the greatest of days, whatever that means for a griffin, and is just pissed, just coldly calculating, staring at you.
I noticed this griffin. I look behind me. No one's behind me. I just need to confirm.
Yeah, no one is behind you.
Okay. And I kind of look at the griffin and I kind of point at myself, like kind of gesturing like, me? You're pissed at me?
And it doesn't move. It's just locked on. And just, the rain you're noticing is starting to kind of like, hit a little more, get a little more dense, and the sky is a bit darker as the last kind of bit of sun leaves for the day. And you notice that actually it looks like there's some sort of contraption in this like little pen, which these kind of like folding metallic sheets look like they're kind of just starting to pop up around to provide some coverage for the griffins so they don't get too wet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, it'll cover the top and then the water will kind of slide down at an angle, but you can still obviously look through as well. And then also in this pin is a drake as well. And he does not look like he enjoys being in here with the three griffins. It kind of seems like he might be bullied a little bit in here with the three of them. Like he's not having it. Not pissed, so to speak, but very like tentative, almost afraid.
Is it this one?
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just keep observing all the animals in the pen. If the drake does something like, I'll just keep an eye out. If the drake does something.
Okay. And as you're observing and looking out, we will shift the camera back inside the lodge, back to Severick, who is currently looking for Clade. What would you like to do, Severick? So you're walking up the stairs, kind of. I'm assuming you guys would have told each other roughly where you guys' rooms were in case, or at least had a good idea. But
I mean, considering we all got our rooms at roughly the same time. I think we
Would they be
know.
together? Or would they be apart?
You guys got separate rooms. You ended up splitting, or Versailles ended up paying for kind of separate rooms. He was originally kind of going to get like a suite where everybody could have been housed, but looks like everybody wanted their kind of separate rooms. So, separate,
Right,
you'd
so-
be able to find Clade's room, assuming Clade retired back.
Yeah, she would have.
Okay.
Do a quick knock on the door.
She'll open it. You'll find that her metal mask is off and just the leather one is on. And her outer garments are. Yes.
One of them are here.
What?
He'll kind of just maneuver his way in and shut the door. Or actually, he'll kind of like he'll peek his head out the door into the hallway just to do a quick security scan before shutting the door.
How do you like shut that pretty firmly?
Not enough to make a sound, but kind of just like that controlled close.
Okay, enough for there to be like some air that moved in.
Yeah. I guess that's a not strange way to phrase it.
Dude,
Was there
I'm
any
feeling
reflective
nervous.
surfaces on the door?
um,
I'm feeling
I'm
so
gonna-
nervous.
you're feeling so nervous. Everybody's like, "What's going on?" I feel so nervous. I'm gonna spend a fear. So as you go
no.
to shut the door, just a little too much force, and you just kind of like, not a lot of sound, but this gust of air comes in and hits Clade in the face, and you can see part of the mask peel. What would Severick see, Clade?
Do I get to choose which side it peels, or is it just like
It's
half
not
of
the.
it's gone?
It's the side you probably think it is.
Lovely.
Your turn. Mine got
No.
undone in session 2, alright? I don't want to hear it.
Everyone's faces just be falling off.
Really, honestly though,
I can't wait for Versailles'
no.
face to fucking...
you would probably see the bottom part of the mask peel closer to like probably underneath her ear, like that jawbone cheek kind of area, and it that's the part that she lifts up the most for food, right? So it makes sense it's peeling. But you'll see some scars actually. The entire area looks like a scar, like a bad guard.
What type of scarring?
Burn
Yes.
scarring. So you'll notice that it I don't wait, how much does he see of that? Is it like a quick glimpse, or is it like a
I mean, it hangs there for a moment, so enough to get a pretty decent look at it. Nothing like hyper analyzing, but enough to go, huh?
okay. A bad burn scar. It doesn't look very pretty. Pretty red and irritated from being underneath the mask for the entirety of travel.
Yeah, it wouldn't even phase Severick. I think that much would pretty much... He of all people would understand. And he's got more important developments to focus on, so he'll kind of just brush immediately past that. One of the heralds is here. I had a rather unfortunate interaction with him, but if we can get him and capture him, we could perhaps glean some more knowledge on the Void Gate and what they
How do
plan
you
on
know
being.
How do you know he's a herald?
Caught a glimpse of some orangish hue, a glow of some kind from his chest, some metal within. But if we're going to move, we must move quickly. The longer we take, the further he gets away, and the easier he escapes us.
Is he staying here? Do you know?
He said some very crass things to me, and then strode off.
She'll nod. Do any of the others know?
He'll shake his head.
Okay. Then we better find this man.
He's already got a hand on the handle of the door.
She's gonna put her cloak on and her metal mask on before you open it. And walk out with you. Is everyone okay, separate rooms, but same hallway or different hallway?
I would say that you guys would have reasonably got your rooms, within the same hallway, not necessarily next to each other, but, with a little bit of privacy, but like still generally in the same area. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong and anybody wants to be a little more isolated, but generally.
I don't think I'd be near my room. I don't think. Unless
you'd still be downstairs.
Yeah, I'd still be sketching out everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just meant like where you guys acquired your rooms. Would
I
probably
see.
be around the same area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Should we tell any of the others?
He'll shake his
before
head.
we-
They'll only get in the way.
She'll nod. I'm assuming Severick is pointing the way, and
Yeah, he's
No.
immediately going to start retracing his steps.
great. Clade's gonna take out Kion as a little spider guy because we want to be inconspicuous, or a little quieter for now than the dog. And she'll hold the spider up and kind of whisper to it. See if you can find them. Before letting the spider go on like a balcony or wall or somewhere kind of open.
You're gonna open a window and let it crawl out, kind of shiver
Yeah.
down the wall. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it do some tracking.
Let's see here. I want to look. I'm just double checking something real quick. Give me an instinct roll.
Who? Me?
You.
That?
You, Clay,
Okay.
for Kion.
Okay.
I believe in the good pooch.
Hell yeah.
You could use your Finding Truth memory. If you want to do
Yes.
help, or you can conserve that. Your choice.
I think I'm gonna conserve that for now.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
14. So Kion goes through the window, kind of scuttles down in the building and starts trying to look. I'm assuming you kind of gave, in tandem with Severick, like a little brief description of what Kion should be looking for.
Yep.
And relay that
Yep.
information. And then kind of crawl down the wall very deliberately, and then hop down on the ground level right outside the lodge, and then kind of just scurry off to what looks like, as you're looking out the window, like over in this direction.
Alright. Would this technically we're entering? Are we entering a new scene, or would this be the same scene?
This would be the same scene.
Would this work for this? Because technically, it would be forbidden magic, right? Corruption.
I think this fits. Yeah, so you could use Engine Witness.
Wonderful. I would like to use it. I'm assuming we're kind of behind Kion, following it, getting outside. So.
Well, yeah, you would have to. It would have Kion would have went out further ahead, and then you guys would have had to go down. So Kion's got a little bit of a head start. But as you're coming outside, you're going in the direction that Kion is going in. You kind of get a sense that something's not quite right, based on where Kion is going. One visible detail the engine identifies as procedural. There's a mechanism that Kion is trying to track down.
Okay. Seems like we're following some kind of mechanism. Something's not right. She'll say to Severick.
Given the heralds are here, I'm assuming something wouldn't be right to begin with, but the question remains, what is one of them doing here? Or maybe the whole cell? I'm not sure. Or a portion of it. Do you think there's something more that isn't right?
I think so. Kion's pointed out something mechanical. It seems to be not as it should be. As we get closer, what do we see? Do we see anything?
Yes, as you catch up with Kion, you can actually see Kion kind of nestled in the crack of which is a very thin alley, essentially, where these two buildings are nearly stacked, horizontally against each other. But you can kind of see that Kion's kind of crawled into that crack. And these who walk up, you can just hear.
Is it speeding up, or is it just staying? She'll kind of pause before taking Kion out of the crack. There seems to be ticking here. It's coming from the crack?
I'll kneel down and take a look. See if I can peer in.
Sure. Make an instinct or a knowledge roll, your choice.
Instinct. That's got the bigger number. I like that one. Badooch. I maxed out on hope. I'm drowning in hope. Come on.
You're the opposite of hopeless.
It's really dark in there. You're not getting a lot of light. You can hear, obviously, the sound of something clicking. And you can kind of see the silhouette of something, but we don't know what it is.
You know what? I will reach into my bag on my hip and I will pull out my ritual candle and I'll light that to see if I can maybe shed some light in the hole.
Okay. You're kind of struggling to kind of make out. You pull out the ritual candle. Does that have any ability associated with it?
I could just slap that in there.
Ooh.
You kind
Some
of
days you just can't
stick
stick a bomb.
stick the candle. You stick the candle in there, and you get a better look at it. Seems like a kind of like a cylindrical looking object, about larger than a foot long, just kind of nestled in there. Does seem like it has some like Asterian make, but it's also like kind of haphazardly put together, improvised.
So there's team ups in combat. Is there a team up for putting minds together to recall information?
We need to put our brain
Great.
cells together.
Yeah. So I was thinking, could Clade and I kind of recall, given our debriefings, if this is a Herald's kind of MO, or if this is something new within the development.
Or if it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Sure. Make a knowledge. You guys can make knowledge rolls if you'd like. Did you have something, Versailles, you wanted to say?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Callum,
I was
is there
gonna
anything-
detail what I was doing,
Yeah.
but like this seems way more important. I feel like I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Is that a crit? Let's go.
Nice.
Failing up, baby.
Failed successfully.
Nice.
2 not ones. Gotta love it.
Before we kind of resolve this, Callum, was there something that you wanted to do?
Well, after that, probably not. But I was gonna ask if I didn't know how far away this ticking was from where he was. I didn't know if the echolocation would catch up on it or not.
Oh, you would have. You would have caught.
Oh, I'd have
Got
been hearing this for
pieces
a
of that.
while, huh?
As they would have left, the door would have opened, and you would have heard it with your echolocation.
Very distracting. I hope they fix whatever that is. You just sit there and mumble as he draws. And
yeah, you don't want to get involved because you just get in the way. It'd be terrible if you were there to turn back time after they blow the bomb up in their own faces. I think that would get in the way a lot. It would really slow them down.
I better
So-
go and see who is gonna fix this thing. This is really annoying. That's a very good point, love. So I'll go and investigate with them, albeit silently, kind of as an observer.
My
So you guys
argument was that you shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But what happens if they do mess up? What if they're like cut the green wire, and it turns out the green wire blows it up?
Well, then we won't be in the way anymore.
Well, okay, but
And
here,
there'll be
hear
many
me out.
different ways, like
What if-
north, south, east, and west.
what if you had someone who could, now follow me on this, rewind time?
Doesn't
Oh,
seem useful.
brother.
I mean, anyone can set a clock.
Wow.
Yeah, just,
all right, you know what?
just add
I'll-
a few more minutes to it. And you
I'll
can just
remember
bring it with
that.
us,
I'll
you know?
remember this, guys. I'll remember all of this. Right, I'm writing this down right now.
Reality is your own perception if you think about it.
I
So-
rewrite reality. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
True. So, so as you guys would be like over here. There's Severick. Where are you, buddy?
I'm down. I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. So you guys would be here. You guys are like fiddling around by the time Callum comes up. Clade, what would you like to do with that knowledge roll, effectively? Would you like to reach in, try to interact with this thing? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Couple things. I want to know if I recognize it be a bomb, or if I recognize any of the sterling parts of it. And if I'm able to try and really understand the mechanism.
Yeah, so as you like look in, are you going to try to grab this or not?
Does it look fragile?
Not particularly, no.
Then sure.
Okay, so you kind of like reach in, you grab it, you're holding it in your hand, it's ticking. This does fit the MO of the Heralds of Voidgate. This looks like an improvised weapon of some sort. What's very unclear, based on like what it is, whether it's an explosive or something else. It almost looks like a canister of some sort.
Kind of looks like a canister. Am I able to see what's inside it? Or is that covered?
That would certainly be covered.
Real question is, why would they leave a canister here? Definitely seems like the Heralds of Voidgate had something to do with it.
With my knowledge, would I be able to recount any incidents like this prior?
Based on what you know about them, they don't tend to do the same thing. So chaos is their MO. Anytime they've been spotted or they've interacted with different settlements, things tend to not go well. A lot of people die. They don't really have a regard for human life. You've seen them use explosives, though there was nothing in the files about this particular thing. This looks like it might be new. Or at least something that's been unreported up until this point. But all you know is that it's just ticking. And you don't know when that might stop or not.
Was this ticking? Was there also ticking during that first massive explosion?
No.
Okay, cool. Whew. Not that makes everything great, but
Nah, everything's hunky dory now.
Well,
Back it up. Time to go. We're good.
are there any runes, etchings, designs that are not of Ashland?
There is an emblem, and there's writings on it that look like they might be specific to this device. And then, Clade and Severick would be kind of looking at each other. This is a very clear indication that this is from a herald. They have a particular insignia. There's kind of like a circle with like a line through it, and then there's just like little spikes jetting out of the outer circle. Yeah.
What about the
This would be reminiscent of that glimpse that Severick got of the chest, kind of that metal stitching in that guy's chest that he briefly saw.
Is there anything that this is the outside of the casing, right? Well, obviously there's not going to be a whole lot. Is there any kind of opening mechanism? Is there a way to detect if opening them is trapped. Or could I do this right here? Could I like, is it magical in nature?
Do you have any abilities to detect that? Or hello?
I was waiting.
Perfect. Mark one stress. So go ahead and mark a stress. To reveal hidden magic effects, glyphs, wards, spell residue, or unstable arcane pressure. Close range. Scene. Would you like to make a knowledge roll?
I would. Just as
there is some unstable arcane pressure in this.
oh my
Does appear to
gosh.
be magical.
I can also mark a hope. I actually have a thing called survive to record. Am I allowed to use that with these experiences? Or not?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'll use that.
It looks like a bomb. If it quacks like a bomb, it's gotta be a bomb.
Listen, man, I'm trying to
Hell
do
yeah.
the best I can here.
So are you looking for a mechanism effectively to?
I'm trying to see about this in this mechanism entirely, the opening mechanism. If it's clearly visible, but more than that, if would I be able to detect by opening it? Would I unleash whatever is ticking?
Well, it looks like kind of just like upon closer inspection, as you kind of like come up, include yourself in this situation, as Callum would, using those keen senses.
He's nosy.
You take a look at this, and obviously this mechanism is kind of crudely put together. It's not intended to last like most Asterian things. What you do notice is just a little bit of like, it's almost imperceptible, but you would notice just a little bit of like what looks like gas coming out of the, almost like the timer mechanism attached to this thing.
Well, I don't know exactly what this device is, but I don't know if you guys can see this right here. And he's not going to touch the device, but he's going to kind of put his finger right there at the ticking mechanism, like you said. And there's gas that's emanating from right here. I don't know what this means. I don't know what type of gas this is, and quite frankly, I wouldn't like to find out. What can we do with this?
Do we know what building that is that we're in front of?
It just looks like a storage building of some sort. Doesn't seem like there's any, like just looking on the outside, it doesn't look like there's any strategic value in putting it here other than to just cause damage of some sort.
Seems to be a low value place to put it, which probably means that the person who put it here was intending for it to be discovered and then transported to a higher value place. I recommend that we don't do
that. Do we know what's right outside this area? Like, is it just field? Is it forest? Is it a town? Like, outside of the walls?
Outside of the walls is like a little bit of a town. Yeah. So like surrounding the ranch itself is like a bunch of houses. And then as you kind of get further up north, you're literally starting to go into the mountains. And then you'd be traveling to like Evanstone and some of the other like mountainous regions. Ironfast, Evanstone, up in the Midnight Mountains and other things. But yeah, I mean it's a fairly populated settlement. Like I said, when you guys came in, it's a little surprising, if you haven't been here before. that this place would just be as populated as it is. But there's a decent amount of people here. Certainly larger than what you encountered on your way here in that smaller settlement.
The way it's ticking, it's quite stressful.
If this were to explode, let's say, the entire town around us would know as well. Any ideas of how to deal with this quietly?
Out of character, with this gas that's emanating from the canister, do I feel any effects in my body? Like, do I feel anything that's different about me at all?
I also added a countdown as well, too, on the top right there. We haven't talked about countdowns yet. That is a feature in Daggerheart. Welcome to the system, guys. We're getting into it tonight. Repeat your question, Callum.
I was wanting to know if the gas was having any kind of effect on my body. Like, do I feel anything that's different?
Certainly not. I mean, you could inhale it and try to see, but like, you're not getting a concentration of it just because it's kind of just partially like leaking out a little bit. You'd have to actually like inspect it more or try to get yourself involved with that before coming up to a conclusion like that.
We need to see how much time is left. That's the most important thing about this ticking device. Time is of the essence.
I'll raise an eyebrow at him.
Well, with a bomb, you'd like to know if you have 90 seconds or 9, wouldn't you?
Go ahead, Mystic.
I don't want to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Very good.
Fucking God. Is there a clock on the outside of it? Is there numbers? Is there a clock? Is there anything
no clock,
that we can...
just ticking.
It's just the insignia of the heralds. Can you inspect the... I'll turn towards Calum. Thanks, Les.
You want me to inspect it further?
Can you inspect it if we keep moving? I have an idea.
I can definitely try to inspect it further. I don't know exactly what that will accomplish, but we can definitely do so. I personally, out of character, I personally think that we should either A, fly this thing up as high as we can. Me personally, like, this is going to sound pretty cruel, but I would attach it to a griffin and just have that sucker fly as high as he can.
Dirty fireworks.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's really going to endear us to these people that we want griffins
Oh,
from.
sorry, I saved 100,000 of you by sacrificing a griffin. That's my bad.
We also don't know the extent.
Right, that's exactly my point.
We could use reflections and try to get Perrin over here quick, but I don't know how much time we have left.
Your Honor, what's my... How do I put this? Given my heritage and my demonic research, how adept would you say I am with jumping to the shroud? Or is it purely just a mental manifestation?
Oh boy.
You could. It might cost you something, though.
I was fully expecting it to cost a lot to keep it a $145.
And it's not clear whether you'll have enough time. I mean, you can do this. You know, it's very easy to kind of like for you or Callum or any kind of magic user to kind of almost like from a consciousness perspective, kind of go outside of yourself when you're meditating and stuff. But doing that physically and teleporting your physical form requires a lot more like, you know, effort, time. So while it's possible, it might be a moot point. That's certainly something you could try.
Where
Could also
in the building would you say we are right now?
Where
Like,
in
did
the
they
building?
shunt this like in like a hallway?
No. They put it in kind of a crack, like a little alley in between both buildings. Yeah.
Oh,
So you
okay,
kind of
that's actually-
reached in there, looked. Yeah. So it's not inside of a building. It's kind of just
Oh, my
like
apologies. I had the
tossed
whole
in there.
mental. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. No worries.
Maybe it's just a
All right,
defective
this actually
clock.
this
It's
is a
like,
lot
do it
easier. We
away.
don't have to go anywhere. I can just try doing this here. He is going to reach into his bag and pull out his. Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna pull out a couple things. I'm actually gonna start using some shit. All right, he's gonna pull out his binding chalk. His talisman. He's essentially just gonna draw a big ass ritual circle.
Okay.
With himself at the center. And with this mechanized device. As he's kind of just getting all this together, he goes, there is a high probability this goes poorly. Now, we can handle this one of two ways. We can get ahead of it by ushering as many people out of here as possible and covering it up as an Inquisitor handling, or we can keep this discreet and just hope it goes well. There's not a lot of time is the safest bet.
could say it's an Inquisitor exercise. That's happening in the back here. We need people to move away. I think that'd be simple enough.
Then the two of you need to move.
She'll nod. What are you gonna do?
Something very, very dumb.
Just wondering, out of character, Fallon, how far away do you need to be to turn back time?
I'm within range.
If
No
this
worries.
goes poorly?
Yeah, I have about 3 abilities that I can use. So
Okay, but how far away can you travel? Like 120 feet? Like, will you be good to be ushering people out of the areas?
well, actually, with Shatter Time, which is my class ability, there is no range. I just rewind the last 6 seconds for everybody.
This is pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like, there's no range. I could be as far away as I want, and 6 seconds is for the entire world. Now, how many people notice that I use that ability? I have no idea. So I'd like to
In a
not.
town that doesn't like magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
What a conundrum.
I would like to
Yeah.
not use that ability if at all possible, but I do have a couple of abilities that don't require that, but they do have range. Have to be within close range.
How far away is close range? Like
Within
2
30.
squares, technically?
Within 30 feet, I was told, right?
You said for close,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
between 10 and 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I'd like to point out that the number in the top right has gone down.
Yes,
Yes, I
I
know.
did
Oh,
notice that
no!
too.
Yeah.
Is there any way
Okay, cool.
I could... Does the ticking
That happened
increase?
a bit ago.
Did it go faster?
No. It's only happened once. I just didn't know when it happened, but I know it happened a bit ago.
No, I mean like for clear. Like did the ticking like start to go a little bit faster now that
No,
that timer
it's just consistent. It's just consistent.
Okay. Well, for now,
This is
whatever.
not 24, guys. It's just a fantasy device.
Okay.
You don't have Kiefer Sutherland running in, Mr. President, you know.
Well, for now, until you finish whatever you're doing, Severick, I'd like to maybe halt this object in time for a little bit. Is that possible? Can I make it stop ticking at least for however long the delay lasts?
Yeah, I'll actually put the countdown back up.
Oh,
Result of this.
nice!
Let's go.
So spend a stress
I did.
to do that, and then you're probably obviously you're using an ability from a magical staff. So what I want you to do is roll a finesse check too to try to hide this. There might be prying eyes around.
Oh god.
Oh, almost a crit to that force, and I breathe back in.
I'm using all my stress, but
Is there any way I could help by like lifting my cloak around him? Kind of like how you would with like a beach towel covering someone up as they change out of their bathing suit, you know, like. Anyway.
Cover his sin.
Yeah.
Well, first before you do that, is there any abilities that would assist in something like this? Outside of
yeah,
just,
I'll do this at least. I'll turn it from a failure with fear into a failure with hope, at the very least.
That that was good. So you can gain a hope as a result of that. So what will happen is, like, as you're using the bone mail that you've attached here, you kind of get a sense that somebody was going to come. Actually, one of the Venerator guards was going to walk.
Oh god.
And then something stops. It's kind of like your sixth sense, your echolocation is pinging off. They just stop. They just like, ugh. They turn back around and they maintain their guarding position.
Oh my god, that was...
They might have been getting a drink or something, but
We need to finish
really
this. Oh,
bought yourself some time.
We need to finish this now. There are people around us. If I perform any more magic, we risk exposure. He'll say this with like the lowest whisper that he thinks that they can hear.
Shalad. As this is happening, she's going to be writing a little note on a slip of paper that has the Inquisitor insignia on it, and attach it to Kion, who is now a dog, and probably have Kion out running to people with like a little Inquisitor evacuation notice saying, "This is an Inquisitor exercise. Evacuate the premise." To the outer walls.
Is Kion just going to go door to door knocking on doors? Like, what does this look like in principle?
Megaphone?
Kion-
That sounds pretty cool.
Kion is holding this piece of paper in his mouth, and to every person that Kion meets, Kion is going to stop right in front of them, make sure they're not able to move without reading the note. Once read the note,
There is a
Kion
bomb.
is going to Kion's gonna grab him by the pants and kind of pull them to the door before taking the note back and running to the next person.
The note should just say, "I am a bomb, run."
Have you heard the good word of the Lord?
That would make people
Like a-
run pretty fast away from here.
Yes.
Hello there,
Maybe
little
I should
critter.
do that.
Where's your owner? Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh no! I will explode in 10 minutes. Evacuate immediately.
Perrin, are you still outside?
I would be, yeah. I don't know this is happening currently.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would be doing? Would you be heading back to the?
I'd probably be heading back. Yeah. I'll be heading back. If Drake wasn't doing anything, I'll probably just head back.
Yeah. So as you're heading back and you're kind of going down the street, you would see them grouped up. As you're walking kind of down here, and you look to your left, you would see them, illuminated by a little bit of a street light. They're all kind of grouped up together.
This is kind of sus. I'm not gonna lie.
Clade's gonna be. I'm sorry.
Oh, Perrin, because he obviously he
Oh.
didn't hear you coming. Perrin,
What's
if
going
you
on?
can do anything with this, it would be greatly appreciated. I don't have a lot of time to explain, but we have what we believe is a bomb that we found on the
What?
street. We found a ticking bomb in an alley. Get rid of it.
Okay. It's still raining, right?
It is. Yep.
Okay. I know that I can go into the mirror plane. Do I have to do some kind of roll? I don't know if it's specific, domain card I have to get. I have no idea. Am I allowed to send objects to the mirror plane?
Not currently.
Fuck. Come on, bro.
You could go through a reflective surface and try to go through the mirror. It depends on how deep you want to go from the material plane to another plane of existence, right? You don't just typically teleport into a reflective surface and you're in the mirror plane. Sometimes that can happen by accident, right? Which is usually not a good thing. You want to be prepared going into these areas,
right.
whether it's the shroud or the mirror. Other times it requires effort, stuff that you've trained with as part of getting this magical ability. In the same way that Severick might have to meditate, you might have your own ritual for getting in there.
Wait a minute. Okay. I'll look towards Clade and I'll ask, Clade, how good of a shot are you?
Pretty good. What? What do you have in mind?
Okay, so, or actually, before I make that suggestion, I'm so sorry. So, I understand, don't go through a reflection. It's probably best not to end up in the mirror plane, or at least spend too much time in there. It's not like I just grab this thing, hop into a reflection, then immediately let go as I'm getting transported, right? It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Fuck. All right. I can't just leave the object trapped in a reflection, correct? It has to be out.
You could, but it would just, if something was going to explode, it would just shatter the mirror and exert out. You could control the angle of the blast based on the reflection. That could certainly happen, right? To mitigate damage. But if you're wanting to shunt this off into a different plane, right? Again, going to require some effort and time that maybe as you guys hear this ticking and ticking and ticking, you don't know if you have that time. Of course, I think Severick is still doing his ritual, and such is my understanding, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Indeed.
so angling the explosion. Okay, I like that.
How positive are you with this ritual there, Severick?
If I didn't think it had a shot, I wouldn't be doing this.
I'd like to blow up the demon realm. So I can't say no to that. I mean, can anybody really say no to bombing demons? Like, raise your hand, you know? Like,
And when the
Well, they're
demons
more
show
than
up
that.
and they're mad, you just say that these guys did it.
right, and it's got
in
the bomb's got their
character.
insignia. That's perfect.
In character, what's the worst that could happen from you doing this, Separate?
I think the positive and negative in this is that I have no fucking idea. The consequences are beyond my comprehension, good and bad, but I think that as far as right now at a uncertain time frame, to at best absolutely remove this device from this plane and to cause no incident to the people, places, or things around us, I think it's pretty good odds. But worst case scenario, it going absolutely bad.
So,
Let's tr-
evacuation still in order.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to evacuate as much as we can. Let's go with
I
Severick's
could,
plan, and
I
then
could,
you could what?
I could jump through the raindrops, and I could try to leave the device at a super high point.
And then if it falls to the ground,
To wait till the last minute, I guess.
We
You're
don't know what the last
probably-
minute is.
That's a great idea, Alex. You're probably going to need some light to be able to do that effectively.
Oh, man, all right.
Just put a sheet on anything reflective and kill a burnt mirrormancer.
You know, it's hard to, if it's dark and you can't really see what you're,
that'll be our last priority. Let's go.
you might
with-
get up a little bit, but not, up in the sky, so to speak.
Dude, all right.
Somebody
Thank you
lit you
for
up like a Christmas tree. Sure, yeah, that's a totally valid way of doing it.
thank you for acknowledging that it's a good idea, at least.
Mhm.
No, it is a smart idea. It's just given the circumstance and the environment.
Continue on.
Send it, bro.
In order to empower this ritual as much as I can, I'm also going to use this cracked relic shard as a catalyst.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm going to crush it and spread it within the bindings of this ritual circle.
As you start to do this, and Clade notices you that you're continuing, and we're no longer talking about it, she is going to sprint and start telling people to evacuate.
I'm assuming you probably want to tell Versailles as well at some point.
Yes,
Yeah, can we
That
cut to
too.
Versailles real quick?
in the tub, playing with a rubber ducky.
And I guess Caleb will just kind of like hold his hand like over the device, just ready to, I guess, warp time if necessary.
Are you going to be in the circle with me?
No. I will be right
You wanna hang
outside of
out?
the circle. No, I will be right outside of the circle.
Because given the extent and the estimated power needed for this to happen, how big is this alley? Is it like a double
I mean,
person wide alley?
you can't really fit in the alley. Again, this device, it was just big enough for this device to kind of get stuck in there a little bit. You know, we're not talking about like wide metropolis style. You know,
Yeah.
alleys. It's
No,
very-
see, I got my New York City hat on.
Mhm.
Okay. Then yeah, in order to encapsulate the force required for this, he's definitely doing this out kind of just in the fuck. Okay, I'll deal with the consequences after. I'm gonna do this out in the open, like out in the street, so I have as much playground to work with.
Yeah.
So it's probably be like a solid like 7 or 8 foot circle, just like a big thing in order to encapsulate as much power he can draw in. Let me remove the relic shard from my inventory as well. That is being used. And he'll, as he finishes drawing the bindings and the etchings and the symbols within the sigil, he'll pull out his binding rod, lay the device in the center of the circle, kneel kind of behind it, and start moving his binding rod in like a slow hypnotic pattern. So let me take a quick drink.
You're like, I need a little bit of booze right now. The situation I'm dealing with.
Well, electrolyte water. I'm going to do a lot of talking.
The number went down again.
Yeah, I noticed.
Okay, we're going. As he will mutter some a chant in another tongue, and he'll call upon the power of his Ravager entity and try to entice it with the supposed power of this device. You hunger for power. Help me take this to the shroud and gorge yourself on its potential.
Oh my god.
And he'll kind of just let himself become the conduit of the entity.
Make a presence roll.
How much is it? Can I only burn one experience on a roll, or can I use more than one if I have the hope for it?
You can use more than one if you have the hope for it.
Hope's overrated.
I kind of want to use all 3. Do you think that's an appropriate response to this?
I would say otherworldly knowledge and Shroud Touch certainly apply. I don't know if sometimes force is necessarily applies to the situation, but I'd say 2 of the 3 do.
Okay, all right.
Make an argument for the third one. I'm willing to hear it.
He doesn't want to.
I have an argument, but I don't think. Actually, no. I could bullshit it.
That's my bat. That a boy.
Given the destructive power of the Ravager, this is a very brute force way of handling a situation by just letting the worst outcome be the best outcome. Thoughts? What's prayers?
Accepted. Go ahead.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm gonna fucking puke.
Okay. No. Reroll. Gotta
Oh
reroll.
my god.
I gotta clip that little section right there.
One life equal one prayer.
I see him like kind of stutter in his ritual right there, and I just instantly just grasp on that moment and just kind of erase it from that timeline. Bam.
He called the timeline where you were cringe and went to one where you were cool.
Yeah, actually, no, that is fair because he does have that sense of doubt within him, And in order to do a ritual like this, he needs to be in absolute
Focus.
control and calmness of mind. So like, he kind of feels that like echo of himself doubting whether this is going to work. And he knows if he slips his resolve even a little bit, bad things overall, not just with the device, bad things will happen. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try this again. And I can just use it with all the same modifiers, correct?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're just re-rolling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay, 22 with fear.
Would
Focus
the
Yeah.
sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
Would the relic shard being a catalyst impact this in any way as well?
I'd say gain a hope back.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So 22 with fear. So the check for this was a 20, just so you're aware. So you did succeed with fear.
That's fine. How bad's the fear factor?
As you know, how do you envision with your Ravenger entering the Shroud Plane? What does this visually look like to the rest of the party?
To Severick, he feels the shadowy tendrils of the shroud kind of envelop his body again. It's almost like two hands place themselves on his shoulders from behind, and then from there, the shadows will start slowly wrapping around his body, enveloping him, and then with like the blink of an eye, him and the device are gone. As like Caleb especially would see this almost like swirling vortex of shadow envelop the center of the ritual circle, and then when it dissipates, he's gone.
So, Severick, you enter the Shroud Plane. This time, more physically than you did previously, which was just a projection, but now you are physically in this place. A place that you haven't physically been to in quite some time. You can already feel this magical energy, this like twilight hue, this mashed together, like this feels like looking around this environment. It feels like there's like a smoothness to everything. Like all the shapes and objects here, which so far is just kind of like a mountainous like void. Almost feel like somebody took a brush and they started blending things in, so it looks very unnatural. You're not getting like the raw like physical material of something. This feels like a dream of what somebody imagined a space looking like, not necessarily like what a physical manifestation of an area would actually look like. There's a very like kind of almost painterly feeling to this. But my goodness, as soon as you arrive here, it's like you're just hit with this overwhelming feeling of arcane pressure that is just weighing you down. It's almost like it's pushing you, like something that's just above you and it's pushing on your shoulders. It's trying to like just bury you here. What do you do?
He'll kind of just get his bearings, make sure he's able to keep his footing steady. Kind of just pause a moment to adjust to this almost like new gravity within this plane. He's gonna look around for two things. One, the device, naturally, and then two, to see if...
Were you holding the device when you teleported in, or did you give it to the Ravenger, or was it in the circle?
It was in the circle and enveloped, I'm assuming, with him. He did offer it up to the Ravager.
It is there, and you see the Ravager just holding it right beside you with like this toothy grin.
The device is yours. Thank you for heeding my request.
I want you to mark one husk on your character sheet as Shroud Sickness starts to hit you.
That was a very pleasant tone for something that shouldn't be pleasant.
Can you name the sickness again, please?
It's like I was on the elevator, I just hit my floor.
What was the name of that sickness?
Shroud Sickness. Also referred to, like, people who know about as husk. Like a husk disease.
I imagine at this point too, his body's reacting to being in this plane as the blue glow from his skin kind of just is emanating from underneath his disguise.
Yeah, it's almost like a navy twilight color that's just washing over like the entirety of this. And like as you're kind of stepping and trying to get your footing, it almost feels like the ground is kind of like what's the term I'm looking for? It's almost like a sand. But it's a little more like concrete. It's not grainy. It's almost like if all the sand was like just like together and it was just forming like shapes, like waves almost. And so like this is all being pushed together, like the ground. As you kind of step, the force of it's kind of rippling like a wave. Yeah, moon sand would be a good way of describing that rat. For those watching, it's in our Discord chat. And then the Ravenger is holding this. Are you commanding the Ravenger to get some distance here? Like, what's the plan?
I want him to ingest it, engulf it, draw every power from within this device, and utilize it as its own. Its power is my power, and my power is its power.
As the countdown hits 0, you can see that the Ravenger has adjusted this. You hear like a distorted, because sound kind of works a little bit differently here. Tends to echo and linger. You just kind of hear this pop. But the pop sounds like it's kind of coming from a bunch of different directions all at once. Until it kind of like, almost like a form of surround sound kind of just encircles you and follows you. Like it's telling you like, the sound is trying to communicate something to you. Kind of just wraps around you. And as this goes off, you hear a pop. You realize something. There was nothing in there. That was a decoy.
Oh no!
And you took the bait. And we'll leave it off for tonight.
Fuck!
Oh, did we get played? Oh, damn.
Fuck this guy.
What was the gas? What was
Let me
the
be
gas
so
coming
for real.
out?
You're not gonna believe me, but partway through, I was going to say there's probably like more of them. We never established there was only one. And I was
Mhm.
going to say something, but I didn't because I didn't want to give him any ideas in case. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep that to myself. There's no need to put that seed in there, and I'm not present. But I
Mhm.
was legitimately thinking, like, oh no, what if there could be like 5 of those things just all around the whole town? Like,